I was waiting on you to send me the link.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Please welcome
Reggie, Smooth, Little James, Sports Spot, Sports Spot, Sports Spot, Sports Spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Please welcome
Reggie, Smooth, Little James, Sports Spot, Sports Spot, Sports Spot, Sports Spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Please welcome
Reggie, Smooth, Little James, Sports Spot, Sports Spot, Sports Spot, Sports Spot.
Welcome to Sports Spot. I'm Smooth with the 5 O's. I'm doing this remotely from my home. This is the All Sports Talk with spots with about all sports. I can't say who's to the right, but y'all already know we got the King of Trolls. Next to him, we got Bo. You already know. And you know we always got our main man, Lil J, in the house. So we're gonna it's a little different for us today, since I am at home right now. I had to be in, but we're gonna start this out for the little golf talk because you know our King of Trolls was out golfing last week and just wanted to know, how'd you do, man? You know what I'm saying? Did you do good out there? Did you come back with a trophy? What's happening?
I can hear him a little bit.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Yeah, anyway.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to talk about the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
So last week,
My bad,
you know,
man.
I had,
Oh my goodness, I've been doing all this talking, man. I have my thing on mute.
Go ahead.
yeah.
Sir.
Anyway, last week, as I
That is so messed
pointed
up.
out
My
last
bad.
week,
I'm sorry, y'all. I am
bracket-
Smooth with
my
5
bracket.
O's. You know what I'm saying? We have a little technical difficulties right now because we're a little different because I'm not at the show today. I'm actually remotely doing this. So, you know, this is your sports spot, sports talk in one spot. You know what I'm saying? Right now, in the middle there, we got the King of Trolls.
Hey, what?
He said the king of trolls.
Hey, what's up, Smooth? Hey, man, you
You
got
know
to
what
speak
I'm saying?
up.
Then we
know
got
you
Bo
ain't at home. You
Nose.
can't be here today, but we can't hear words you saying, man. You got to speak up. You know, put some deepness in your voice or something, man. Because we up here struggling to hear you, man.
Right.
You know, we understand you can't be here every week. I ain't going to be here next week because I'm going to be in Jamaica. But we understand, you know.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
man.
Yeah,
I ain't
boy, you
mad
gotta
at
say
you,
that,
bro.
man. You know that
I
was a
ain't mad
thing.
at
I gotta got to take the wife on a trip. I went on
feel
a
you, I
golf
feel
trip.
you.
We got to go on a trip.
Jamaica.
Okay,
Jamaica.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pro dominant right there.
Now, what you saying, Smooth? Let's hear what you saying. Smooth with the 5 O's. We about to give you 1 O.
Well, I was gonna just drop 1-0.
Whatever, Red. We ain't ready to go there with you today.
Go ahead, Bubba.
So,
What
man,
you
how you
think
feeling
about
about
that?
how you feeling about the
talk
world of,
about.
how you feel about the world of sports, man, from the NCAA basketball standpoint, man? The men's to be
I need to
exact.
get my
We
head.
know the women. I mean, I think that.
Go ahead, Bo.
I
Because
think he
he's
has
smooth
almost.
and got up and
I
walked
think he
away.
has almost a perfect bracket with the women, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot better than the men. But the men's bracket, if you look at my sheet, boy, look here. I had last rights on the first night. That's how bad it was.
You only did 1?
Yeah, I only did 1 for the men, 1 for the women.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did 3 couple.
Ah,
But
did you?
let's before we talk about scores and everything, let's talk about there's no lower seeds or Cinderellas that made it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
You know, and I
right.
think the NIL has a little bit to do with
You
that.
said that. You said that last year. I think
even
so
in
too.
even in the Elite Eight, it's 4 number ones,
I know Ronnie got
3
called
number
around, I know
2s,
she's
and 1
pissed.
number 3.
Right now
Yeah.
there's 3 number 1s that's going to make it. If Auburn beats Michigan State
Right,
right
it'd be
now,
all
that'll be
4.
4 number 1s.
Yes.
So you can't say that NIL is not affecting what's going on. You know, money flows.
You know, NIL and the portal, because I heard a stat today that a lot of the portal players, they are players that are older, you know, and now these teams are building up older players. All these college teams, they're building
Well, I
up
think
older
a little
players.
bit happened because I think Michigan State or is it Auburn?
Auburn.
One of them has or Tennessee. One of them has a player who's 23 years old.
Is that
But
the one
what-
you said it played like 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
Year?
Yeah. Well, what happened is COVID.
Oh,
They got an extra year
St.
during
James
COVID.
for Duke. He's,
Yeah.
he's a 5th year.
They got an extra year because of COVID, which is understandable. You
Yeah.
can't just discount that year, you
Yeah.
know. And now that NIL is there, of course they're going to be able to make more money,
More
you know.
money, yeah.
But I heard a stat the other day was really impressive. I heard it was 1,700 players that are entering the transfer portal. One of Purdue's players after the loss yesterday went straight to the portal.
What was that?
I forget which one. I know which one it is. It's the guy that went to Carmel. He didn't get a lot of playing time at Purdue this year. I think he's a freshman. But the freshman at Kansas that was at Kokomo,
Yeah.
he's entering the portal from Kansas.
I
And if
saw
you
that.
notice,
Yeah, I saw that.
IU, since their new coaches came on, only has 1 player on the roster. Everybody entered the portal.
Everybody.
Everybody's done.
I heard,
serious?
Yes, when the new coach came
yeah,
on.
I heard a lot of them had left,
Yeah.
but I didn't know it was
Just
everybody
one
but
player.
one.
So I'm looking for some of this homegrown talent to come back to IU like they're playing for Purdue right now.
Okay.
Because
Indiana
IU's
don't
going to
have-
have, they're
Indiana-
going to have a lot of NIL money available once that ruling
yeah,
come
but
out.
I was just gonna say the
And they're
homegrown.
allowed to do. They're allowed
To
to. I
me-
know they was allowed to do that. So he has 1 player right now.
He has one
They don't
player.
have a game, but the time the season starts, he's going to have a team.
What's happening nowadays is, hey Tom, could you check my sunroof, make sure I shut it for me, please? I see that rain coming down. I don't know if it's shut.
man.
Make sure my sunroof is shut. I hope I shut it. Okay, I'm sorry about y'all. I can't let the turkey well on the inside. You know, it's really coming down outside. I can see that. But what's happening is, and I think it's fair, but they're going to have to set some more rules and regulations because coaches can leave when they want to.
Yeah.
Right.
I think players should be able to leave when they want to, but there should be some stipulations. There should be a certain time frame
Yeah, I
that you're
agree.
allowed to leave.
I agree.
And then it
I
should be
agree.
cut off. I just don't know.
What do you mean a
the
certain
date.
time frame?
Okay, say that the portal's open after the tournament for football.
45 days, and after that, you can't
And
enter the
then
portal.
I think you're going to have 2 different ways.
Yeah.
They're going to have
But
a
you know
different
what?
time frame
They-
for football.
they were talking
a different
about that
time frame for
portal.
basketball.
Yeah, you
They were
Take a
talking
time
about
last
that
minute, you wanna
portal
go to the
thing, how
portal.
they already opened the portal for guys to leave. I'm with you. After the NCAA tournament, that's when the portal should be open.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But for
they
how
were
long,
talking about-
though? But
Yeah.
for how long? What
For how
window?
long? Maybe 30
what?
days.
Maybe
or
30 days.
something.
Then
I
after
think
that,
it's
you can't transfer.
I think it's going to have to be some trial and error because you don't know which
Happy
time
Sunday to you,
is.
Miss Walker.
Happy Sunday.
Happy
Devin.
Sunday.
Hey, man, you something
I
else,
think
man.
you're not gonna. I think it's gonna be some trial and errors. Like right now, it's not working because the players are leaving so early into the portal. You know.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of NIL money available. Just like coaches can leave, I think players should leave because the colleges in the past have made tremendous amount of money off these players.
Collectively, yeah.
Now, what's going to happen is it's going to affect the smaller schools because they can't compete. So, the Elite Eight may be nothing but the power conferences coming up.
Yeah.
And every now and then you get a Butler in there, or you'll get a McNeese in there, or a school like
Marquette
that.
or somebody,
Or Marquette, yeah. Which these schools are really good.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be able to compete with the NIL money that these teams are putting out.
Nah,
They're not. You're right.
nah.
You're
You
100%
know,
correct
team
on
like
that.
Duke, they got grand theft money.
Yeah. And Notre Dame do, and so does Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yep. Texas.
Texas.
Texas. All these big schools.
Did you see? Well, I'll come to that. Well, I'll go back on the
Who is this guy?
that's Jonathan Burke. Get on point.
Oh,
guys.
yeah?
Take
One
two.
guy.
The intro.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hey, Bird, son, we don't have the production that you have. We got Tom Slick. We coming straight from the hood. So y'all got, we hood professional. You know,
That's right.
You
That's
got
right.
that. You got that.
He don't have one.
No, he got that NIL money
still-
for sports casting. That's what Birdson got. We ain't got that NIL money yet. So yeah.
But we're very knowledgeable, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, Birdson gets that, he get the passes, he's on the sidelines and everything. Help us get passes so we can be on the sideline again.
Right. We can do the show
Come on
from
with
the
that.
sideline, man. Come on. We can do the show from the sideline.
But you spoke on that last week. You touched on about how that some of the teams that, wasn't no real true major upsets this year, whatever. All the big market teams that you assumed that was going to be there, they're here. They're there.
Yeah. I think early on, the only upset we saw was McNeese State.
And what,
And that
St.
coach
John-
was
St.
leaving in
was it
St.
St.
John's.
John's?
Yes. And that player that he held out, because he was cold,
Yeah.
he didn't enter the transfer portal.
Oh, wow.
So it's now then got, so if you're mad at the coach for not keeping you in the game, even though you're not playing well, I'm mad.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was my son, now you stay your butt there, you didn't play a good game.
Yeah, sit
you
down
should have
somewhere.
been took it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel about the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's been some good games. Let me see your little sheet right here.
Don't look at
See your
that.
little
Just
sheet.
turn
I'm not
it over.
going.
Just
Is this
turn it.
no, I want to look
That's
at the
the men's.
men's.
Yeah.
Let's talk to the men's. Because I saw that Texas Tech beat Missouri. I thought that was an upset.
Yeah.
We thought Kansas beat St. John's. Did that happen? No.
No, Kansas lost.
Kansas lost St. John's.
Yeah.
St. John's lost to Missouri.
Missouri.
So in the early rounds, there's been a few upsets
Yeah.
in the games. But I think
But you
the
know,
later on you get.
Kansas is notorious for getting knocked out in the first round.
Tennessee is notorious for not
Tennessee
making it
is
to the
the-
Final
the-
Four.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
I said that last week.
I was watching the Purdue and the Houston game Friday night, and I feel that Purdue got robbed.
They
Because on
did.
that last
Big
play,
time.
there was a big push-off.
Yes.
Well, I
Big
watched
time.
that game, and
How
that's
you,
what I say.
how
man.
you
can't-
got refs positioned to see these?
Yeah.
They're
But
positioned
that's
at
what I'm
angles.
saying.
So how can all three refs not see that
Yeah,
one?
but what I'm saying is that, though, it could be amazing, because I seen that game, and they wasn't calling the ball right sometimes on both ends of the ball.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
either let the kids play or call the game fairly for both sides
well,
or
they
whatever.
But
let
that
them-
was too obvious.
Yeah, that
it was
push-off,
too
yeah.
obvious.
I seen that.
Yeah,
And I'm
it
not,
was too
and-
obvious.
I mean, I'm not.
But I
cross-eyed
agree, though.
with it.
They
But
missed
yeah,
some
but
calls
they-
both ways.
Yeah, they missed some calls both ways too, because I really didn't want. I mean, me being Notre Dame, I didn't want to see, but back from basketball stuff. But I mean, I never really. But kudos, I root for the home team. But I was rooting for.
So they're calling for heads for the officiating in that Duke.
Yeah.
Who did Duke play? Alabama.
Alabama, yeah.
They're calling for officiating.
Well, you're going to
Taking
have
those
some
guys out.
That's what I'm trying to tell
Yeah,
you,
but the
because they
thing
called
is,
the ball,
but
and
the
I
thing
seen that
is,
game. They
reason they're
called the ball
calling for
bad
head-
on both sides.
Fans are
during that
calling
Duke
for
and
heads.
Alabama game.
Fans are calling for heads on those three officials because they called 50+ fouls in one game.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's a lot.
if it's a foul, you got to call the foul.
Yeah,
I don't
but
care if
that-
it's 50 plus. But
I
just
mean,
like that,
But they favored
What's
Duke
up,
on
brother?
the whistle, though. I seen that
What's
game,
up,
man.
bruh?
They favored Duke on the whistle,
Yeah.
though. Even though, because, the game was close at first.
They
and I
favored
looked
Duke
around,
on the- oh.
to me, they favored Duke as far as I bet you Duke
Oh,
got
yeah,
more. So,
Duke-
but what I'm saying is,
I think Duke was picked to win it all anyway from day
well,
one.
Auburn and was up there, and Florida was up there too.
I
Yeah,
mean, before the
yeah,
season started,
right.
they
No, I
had-
don't think, because I think Duke starts like 4 freshmen or 3 freshmen. I
Three.
think they were picked to be one of the top teams.
Yeah,
But I don't know if they were picked to win it. Now they've been picked to win it.
I'm going
Yeah.
with
Could be
Auburn, though,
possible,
man.
you
I'm
know?
going with Auburn.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you this also. a lot of people, what's up, Curtis? How you doing?
Yeah.
I see you. Good evening.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
What's
but-
up,
Thanks for
Curtis?
tuning in.
But what I see is there's a lot of missed calls in a lot of games. In the Maryland game,
Yeah.
people say that he didn't gather, so he was allowed 3-step. That was a
That
blatant
was a
travel.
travel.
I don't care what
That-
Charles Barkley and all
Yeah.
them say when
No,
they travel.
that's
he
a
had
straight
gathered
travel.
the ball. That was 3 steps.
3 steps,
A
yeah.
travel is still a travel in the NBA.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Which they're starting to call a little bit more, which they
Yeah.
used to call in the NCAA
He
tournament.
took his suitcase with him.
Yeah,
on
boy,
during
boy,
the
boy.
sure did.
And there's
Took
a
his
lot,
suitcase with him.
there's a lot of so-called pros telling us that wasn't a travel.
That was travel all day
Man,
long.
look, I'm 57 years old. I've been seeing travel since I was in Pop Warner and everything.
Right.
You can't tell me
Right.
I
I
can't
think
see a
sometimes
travel.
Right.
the way the guy, I mean, I guess the
And you-
officials
and here's the thing.
pick their poison because I see a lot of guys, a lot of point guards, they carrying the ball.
They're
Every time
carrying the ball. I agree.
yeah.
They carrying the
Yes,
ball.
yes, I
And-
see
and
Like
it.
the
here's
whistle,
the
that's a
thing,
carry.
here-
When I was, you know what I mean, they carrying the ball,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
Here's the thing with that travel.
No, that's
No.
not before LeBron.
Magic
Before-
Johnson.
before LeBron.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson started to carry.
Yeah.
If you look at Magic Johnson, he carried
Yeah.
the ball all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
But,
I guess they picked their
but as
poison.
far as the travel is concerned,
Yeah.
you know, I think, wait a minute, what did he say?
He said maybe
the ref.
it needs a break if you get the hints. I don't think it's that. I just think maybe you need to add another ref. And I think what's also affecting the game is we're able to see it in
Well,
slow
you got
motion.
3 refs.
Yeah, they may need to add a 4th because in the NBA they talk about they're so big and strong, they're so much faster, we can't see everything.
Yeah.
So put it down when you got the money, put a 4th one
Put
out
some
there.
young
you
refs
know?
in there
Possibly
to,
a
to,
fifth.
No, it
to
ain't
keep up
necessarily
with
that.
them.
I think a lot of
No,
it is they
but
know
what-
they're being evaluated because we can see it in slow motion. Like the 3 steps that Queen took from Maryland.
yeah.
Right.
They're talking about the angle we're at. We couldn't tell if he had gathered. They said you got to gather the ball before you count the 2 steps.
Wait
So
a
they
minute.
slowing it. That's what I'm saying. They
Yeah,
said.
that's
what they're saying.
I'm thinking that
But-
where I come from,
but-
if you possess the ball,
but here's the
if
thing.
you travel, you travel.
You travel, yeah.
Ain't,
Yeah,
ain't no
all day
gathering
long.
the ball, whatever.
But
I
they're,
mean,
they're
by the time
talking
you gather
about
the ball,
it's
you
the
took
European
7 steps.
style baloney.
Nah.
I don't even
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people argue
Baloney.
that that European step, is they basically the
smooth
guys
go.
are
It
traveling.
used to be travel back in the day. That step to the side, step to the right, or step to the left, step to the right. It's 2 steps.
Because you
I
switching
understand
pivots.
that.
You switching pivots.
Well, it's 2 steps. When you
now-
left and you right,
and
you're
now
not
they
straight.
got that. Now they got that where they hesitate on their 3rd step.
Yeah.
You know, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
still a
yeah,
travel.
Because it's like you switch. You can't switch pivots or whatever. That's travel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess they do away with it because of the European
Yeah.
style of play or whatever. But you know, when you switch
Did we
pivots, you
lose
travel,
Snoop?
dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looked
That's
like
my
we did.
opinion.
So, yeah, but I'm really impressed with the amount of games that are being played. Even though there's no Cinderellas to me that are making it this far.
Right.
You have Auburn up 50-38 over Michigan State, and I hope Michigan State comes back because I hate the SEC. You know,
I
they
like
got
Auburn.
Flo
I
Mills.
like Auburn. I can't
I mean, I just
stand
can't stand the
Michigan.
SEC,
Okay.
man. That's the only reason.
I don't really
man.
care too much. But the only Michigan State, you know who I like.
I
from
don't
Michigan
care
State. I
who
ain't gotta
win it
say.
now.
I ain't gotta say. A guy by the name of Draymond Green that plays for the Golden State Warriors.
Uh-huh.
That's my guy. That's the only prospect other than. Well, didn't
Magic
Magic go
Johnson?
there? And other than Magic Johnson, or
Jordan
whatever.
Poole.
I like Jordan Poole. I like this Jordan Poole, whatever. But yeah, but I didn't know he came from Michigan. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Michigan State to put out a lot of good NBA players. You know, Martine Cleaves wasn't about nothing, but, you know, they didn't put out a lot of good players.
Hey, man, but I
He
must
just
say
made
this,
a
man.
lot of NBA money.
Right, I want to say this, man,
he
because
did.
I was watching the Duke game and they flashed the cameras on Jason Tatum and he was duped out or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is he rooting for Duke for? I haven't thought about it or whatever. I did not know he played for Duke.
Yes, he
I had
did.
to look it up.
Yes, he
He
did.
played for Duke,
Yes, he
man.
did.
I don't know how I missed
Yeah, it
that,
was
man.
1 year.
So I had to, because he's one of my favorite players in the league. I'm like, man, he was. I said he has to.
St.
He's
Louis.
not wearing that. So I looked it up, and he played for Duke. I can't believe I missed that, man.
Mr. St. Louis himself. Yep,
Yeah.
sure did, yeah.
And I love him, man.
And Jarius Walker for the Pacers, he got back in time. He was at the game. I saw a picture of him hugging a Houston player. He had his Houston Letterman jacket on and everything.
right. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
saw that. You know, but Charles Barkley picked Auburn to win. I hope he's wrong.
I picked Auburn to win. I'm with Barkley on that one, man.
So I just want a Big Ten team to be in it.
But if Michigan State win, well, if it happened to get past them, I have no beef because I really don't have a dog in the fight or whatever. Notre Dame ain't in it. IU ain't in it. You know,
Purdue ain't in it.
Purdue ain't in it.
Southern University,
Southern-
the best HBCU ever in the world.
What
is not in
conference
it.
are they? Are they SWAC or MEAC?
We're
or
swag.
what?
We're swag.
Oh,
We're
okay.
swag. So yeah. But
But
You
it
know-
has been fun to watch, though, man. You know what I mean?
there's,
Oh, yeah.
there's been some great women's game.
Yeah.
South Carolina's looked good. They almost got beat
They
today.
almost got beat today, boy.
Yeah.
I was watching that game.
I don't
man.
know what happened in the Connecticut game. They look pretty good. I'm glad Duke's out of it.
Yeah.
I hate that TCU beat Notre Dame, man.
Yeah, I hate
You know,
that.
TCU has a young lady that played at Louisville, and then she played at LSU, and now she's at TCU. 3 years, 3 of her teams have made it to the Elite Eight,
Right.
and that's a hell of an accomplishment for that player. I'm highly impressed. I'm
but-
highly impressed with the women's game. I mean, there's been a couple of sleeper games and everything going on.
But Notre Dame did make it to the Sweet 16, right? or
Oh,
whatever,
they
I mean.
made it to the Elite Eight.
The
if
Elite
I-
Eight, yeah,
If,
so-
if I'm correct.
So, man, that's kudos within itself, though, man. I mean, even though you want to win the big dance or whatever, but to make it to, the final few or whatever, I mean, that's saying a lot.
And on the women's side, LSU beats UCLA beats LSU.
Yeah.
So
You
they
see that
make
big
it. They
tall
make it
girl
to the
they
LA.
got?
Yes. she's
Man, how
good.
tall is she? About 6'9"?
I don't know how tall she is, but you know who I'm really sorry. I was watching the USC game when Juju Watson got hurt.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a move that was made on purpose. You know, they were going for the ball.
Yeah.
She just twisted her ankle. But how do y'all feel about the
You tore her
women's game?
ACL.
ACL. How do you feel about the women's game still being played at stadiums instead of neutral sites like the men's game? You know, the first 2 rounds, I think, are at who has the better record.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm thinking now that they have the falling, they can move them to some neutral sites, also. Because that's an unfair
Like
thing.
Think
they
they
do,
really
okay,
ready
yeah.
for that? Because
They're ready.
you think that they can put it in a format like the men?
Yes, they're
Well,
ready.
and I understand why you're saying that, too, because it makes it a level
Because,
playing
I
field.
mean, because one year,
Because if I'm
you
playing
know-
at home, I'm going to be more comfortable.
You got the
Fans
crowds on
behind
your
me,
side. You
yeah,
got
on my
them
side.
in. Yeah.
Refs on my side. And just to be realistic, because they do get, when you at home, you do get a little favor.
preferential treatment.
You do.
But I understand
But
that.
I don't, me personally, I don't think that's quite there yet. I mean, it's on the
I mean,
way.
you see all the people that were at these games?
But
Yeah,
a lot of
I
people,
mean,
though,
I'm
man.
talking about changing the format. I mean,
No, I'm not talking about the format. I'm talking about changing the venue.
yeah, I mean, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't think it's there yet. I mean, based on the 1 year they had last year, and then, because they had a very successful
Right.
season last year.
So what would you say?
This
So
year-
primarily, what would you say? How long you think that it would take for them to get to that level to where they
They
can
could
do
probably,
change venues?
well, they probably could start, on a smaller scale, maybe next
the-
season.
next year,
before
next few
it's-
seasons, yeah.
But how
over
do you
the
do a
next-
smaller scale? I mean, you just can't say, well, some schools gonna
Well,
play
you
at home,
can take,
some
you
schools
could
gonna
take,
play at
you
a
could
stadium.
take like the top 10, and put them in a site.
It's
No,
not,
that
it's
ain't
not
even
gonna
gonna
work
work.
because they play
That's
the
not-
lower seats.
Yeah, those
I'll tell you
lower
what,
seats.
what could happen. Instead of paying like at Lucas Oil where the men are playing in these stadiums, like we're in San Antonio, maybe they could play them in NBA arenas, which are bigger than their home arenas, like maybe Conseco Field, Greenbridge Fieldhouse, or
okay,
United
yeah.
Center, or something. You could do something like that if you don't want to go to the big football arenas, and that would probably be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I just think that
Well,
home
what
field
if they
advantage.
what if they have like regionals, men and women at the same regional area on the same? Yeah.
They're not gonna do that because they want to maximize their money. They got
Well, I
two
mean,
different. They
but-
got two
but-
different
but-
contracts.
yeah.
CBS has a contract with the men. ABC has a contract with the women.
Yeah.
So
but
they-
what if
you know, they're gonna
what if
maximize
you what if you did that, and you got fans from both the men and the women coming collectively
I think
together?
there's only going to be a certain amount of cities that can host a tournament like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Indianapolis, Chicago, New Orleans,
Maybe
Los Angeles,
Los Angeles.
Atlanta. But one tournament right now is in Birmingham. I don't think they have the hotel capacities in the
yeah.
cities the size of Birmingham to have a men and a women's
Yeah,
tournament.
I agree. I agree.
San Antonio could probably do it also.
Yeah, San Antonio could
Houston,
definitely
Texas.
do it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
But
the
that would
Final Four
eliminate
is.
some of the smaller. I think they want to maximize their money. I think you still need to do like arenas instead of a super. I understand that if you win your
Instead of
games during the
football
regular season,
Right.
you can get a home game. I understand that. I
Right,
respect
right,
that.
right, yeah.
But I just like how the men is set up where your fans got to travel to cheer for you,
Yeah, right,
So that
right.
could be the old school in me.
Yeah.
I like the one state championship for boys high school basketball for me.
Did Addicts win last year?
No, Addicts lost, upset.
Oh.
Sixers lost, upset.
And and
Fisher
that
lost
could be
too.
like an Achilles heel for some teams too. They like, man, we never get to play in our own city, our own town, or whatever. We always got to travel or whatever. I mean, it does matter when you're playing in front of your home crowd or whatever. I'm telling you, it matters to make sure. Even though they travel with them, but it's not like nothing playing like at home or whatever in front of your crowd or whatever. Like
Well,
face to
Auburn
face,
is the number 1 seed, so
Yeah.
they're in their region, which is the South. And I'm not sure exactly where that game has been played at, but I know I'm somewhere in the South, so it makes them easier on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So the number 1 seeds usually play in the regions where they're at.
Yeah.
So if IU had been a number 1 seed, they would have been in the Midwest region. So I do understand that a little bit, you know. What? I was just giving that as an example.
Yeah, I'm saying I see where they come from or
No,
whatever.
he trying to be funny over here. He trying to be funny over here. But yeah, so you.
So who's the new coach for IU, as a matter of fact?
He came from West Virginia. His name is D. something Devar. I can't remember his name.
Do you think
Head
that's a
coach of
significant
IU.
reason why all the players in
So,
the transfer
No,
portal?
most time players follow their coaches.
Yeah.
You notice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the players for the football coach that came to IU, all of them came from the school that he left,
Yeah,
from George Mason.
Yeah, George Mason. Sure
So-
was.
So you think the transitioning of the coaches or whatever made some of those guys' decisions or whatever
Yes.
to move? Because I'm not that's the first time I ever heard of that.
Look-
of the
look
whole
at-
team leaving except
Look
for
at
one
look
guy.
at at Deion when he went to Colorado.
A lot of
them
players-
guys from Jackson State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darren DeVos, that's right. He came from West Virginia. West Virginia felt like they should have been in it over North Carolina, which I agree, because they had more quad wins, better quad wins than North Carolina. Even though North
Did
Carolina
they-
went on to
did
win their
they-
first 2 games.
Did they get into the play-in? with
No,
West
they
Virginia?
didn't. They
Oh,
didn't
okay.
because they should have, but they should have been in over North Carolina, UNC, your school.
Right, right.
You know, but they said because the UNC
Money thing.
director was over the selection committee.
He
He
was.
said he wasn't
He
in the
is.
room when it was
Yeah,
picked.
yeah,
But you
right.
know, I'm sure you was happy because you was North Carolina. You know.
Oh man,
So,
I
yeah.
didn't even think they was gonna make the tournament.
They shouldn't have made the
Yeah.
tournament. They
You
should have
know,
made the
but
tournament.
I'm glad they did.
But yeah, he came from West Virginia, the IU basketball coach.
Right.
And his son was a great player. He's going to be the first one. He entered the portal. But you know he's coming to IU to play for his dad. But his son is a dog.
Really?
I'm not going to lie to you. His son is definitely a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was trying to look up his son's name. I couldn't remember his name. But I know he's a dog. I've seen some highlights of him, and he's made the tournament. So, yeah.
Is he gonna be a freshman or is he?
No, I think he's going to be a junior or a
Oh,
sophomore.
okay.
Not a freshman. So, yeah.
Speaking in terms of LeBron's son or whatever, the youngest one ever.
Bryce.
Bryce, yeah, he won. He was a major
champ.
factor, state champion or whatever, and he got a full ride worth over $500,000.
Arizona, right?
Yes, I think it's Arizona. I think it's
Yeah, I think
Arizona,
he going to
whatever.
Arizona.
And they were talking about it or what. I just wanted to bring that up because I think that he's going to be, not to take nothing from Bronny or whatever, but I think that he already has the physique in the
The
talent,
height.
so- yeah, and
He
whatever.
has the
And he's-
height.
Yeah,
I
but
think he's still skinny. He needs some
yeah,
muscle.
but he has physical capabilities
Hey
too,
there,
or whatever.
Kimberly.
He's athletic.
Thanks for joining us.
And
Yeah.
I just think that it's going to be good for him. I mean, he already saved his dad $500,000 or whatever. I mean, even though he's a
Well,
billionaire.
his
or whatever,
scholarship's
but-
not going to be a half million. Now, what happens is they get scholarship offers. Like I've seen some
that's what
black
they-
scholars.
But they said that some of it's going to
It
be.
don't cost $500,000 to go to Arizona.
Well, no, because I
Right.
mean, but it has to do with his living assist. He's probably not
Yeah.
going to be living in all of that. All they say,
Yeah.
all of that.
But
it's
that
gonna add
scholarship,
up to that.
what
That's
happens
I'm saying.
is, like with scholars, like they apply to like 20 different schools. They may get $1 million worth of offers. So
Right.
he's probably got not Arizona's the only one's not offering. He probably got 5 or 10 schools offering
Right.
him to
A
come there.
total of
Of $500,000.
Yes.
Yeah, but they said it did. I guess whatever they said, the way I read it, it was going to be worth $500,000 because it's got to do with his living or whatever, his food. And
It
all
don't cost
that, and
it don't
everything.
cost
Yeah,
$500,000.
but they made it look
And
good.
you
then.
think about it. You think about it. If he's getting $500,000 to play at Arizona, okay, that's his choice. I mean, that's the school he chose, right? Arizona. He's committing to Arizona. If he's playing for they giving him $500,000. Do you think the rest of the team getting
I'm saying
$500,000?
they said his
No.
scholarship is worth that.
That's
what
why
they
I'm
said.
saying.
Scholarship
That's what I'm saying.
offers.
The
That's what I'm saying.
offers.
But I'm gonna tell you this though. If he had been going to USC, they say it costs $300,000 a year to go to USC. You know, so I don't know. Some of these schools, major
Notre Dame.
Butler right up the street.
Butler. Yeah.
Some of these schools are really pricing.
Yeah,
Let me change the subject a little bit away from sports. You know how crazy man Trump is trying to compare all these Ivy League schools, talking about people getting DEI.
They talking about, I seen that today.
Let me tell you what some of these Ivy League schools on the East Coast are doing. If you get into the school, all of them said, if your parents make less than $200,000, because these schools are expensive too.
Yeah.
If your parents make less than $200,000, you can go to school free, and that's my way of them getting around DEI. So you want to knock us on DEI? Well, we'll let them in free.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah.
And I
still
know
gonna
it takes away
benefit
from
from it.
sports a little bit. I apologize, but that's an issue with this crazy man is doing that need to be approached.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know what?
That way you can keep looking the other way while he's.
You know, Trump is looking the other way. It's Doge and
Partners.
Musk and them that are really orchestrating all this stuff. Trump is just.
Yeah, they took Jackie Robinson down from the military page because they say it was They took. There was a young lady that went to West Point. No, she went. No, they took Tuskegee. They put both of them back up. But there was a young lady that went to West Point because her dad was in the military. She wanted to go to West. Graduated at the top of her class and everything. She was killed in Desert Storm by IED, and they had put a tribute up to her on the military webpage. And they took that down. She was the first female officer killed in combat.
Oh, wow.
And they took that down. I know we're deviating from sports, but this is a sports way also, you know.
Yeah.
So,
point being made, obviously.
So, congrats to all the people that go to these Ivy League schools and their parents make less than $200,000. Go to that school if you got the GPA. Get in there and go. So let's talk a little bit more about what do you want to talk about? He wants to talk pro basketball. We'll bring up that a little bit.
Oh.
I mean, I'm tired of all these Laker fans all happy.
No, come on now. Come on.
Well, I'm a Golden State Warrior fan, and I'm happy.
Well, you're a Laker fan too.
Well, I love Kobe. You know what I'm saying? But when he was there, whatever.
Well, because you said the Lakers and Golden State gonna play each other in the championship.
Well, that's what they're trying. That's what they're trying, and that's what I'm still sticking to. That's what I'm still sticking to. I think that they can make it because I watched OKC. I watched. There's only a couple of teams that probably can stop that from happening. But I do see one of those teams being there at the last dance or whatever. You know, I do see that. If not both of them, because teams going to cancel each other out. Like I'm telling you, talking about the Shea Alexander dude. I know he's great, phenomenal, terrific guy though. But
you
the
know
playoffs
what?
is a different story.
I will admit. At least now you're acknowledging. In other programs, you didn't even acknowledge it. But I'll give you props on doing your research.
I've been watching him carefully, and the boy is really good. I mean, the way he annihilated the Pacers, it was.
Oh, he's been not doing just the Pacers. They only lost 12 games this year.
I know he's been doing like that.
And since halftime, I think they only lost one game at home.
Yeah, he's really good, man. He is really good, man. I'm impressed with him. He's really good.
But here's the thing for me. The Lakers ain't gonna win nothing. You know me.
You're a big time Lakers. Yeah.
Die
You know the only thing I
don't
like
think
about
so, man,
LA
because
is the
you've been watching-
Dodgers, the World Championship Dodgers.
Yeah, but you know something though. I've been watching them dudes. Them dudes got a good team, man. Them young boys, man, they got on their team. LA do. They got a good team.
They got a good team.
Got a big boys. They play for them, whatever.
They got a rock in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's Luka.
I mean, nah, man. Luka is Luka, man. I don't know what,
Before
man.
Luka-
Right now,
before
right
Luka
now,
came,
right now,
before
right
Luka
now,
came.
they doing way better than they were when the big Anthony Davis was there. He's hurt right now.
It's
man.
about equal. It's about equal.
No, it's not
about
equal.
It's about equal.
Anthony Davis ain't doing nowhere near what Luka is doing. He's doing.
I don't know what he
nowhere
came
near-
back for, though. He ain't got nothing to prove.
Hey, he's doing nowhere near what Luka is doing for LA right now. Let's be real, man. Let's be real. The man
Luka is
averaging
doing
31
garbage
points a
for
game, man.
Luka don't
They
play
number 4,
defense.
but they number 4 right now, though.
They are number 4.
They number 4 right now. So what? So something's fundamentally happening.
Because they were number 4 before Luka came.
No, they
They were
was
number
not.
2.
No, they was not.
They
man.
were.
No, they
number
were
2
not.
Before Luka got
No,
there.
they were not, Bubba. I'm telling you.
Yes.
It wasn't.
Well, I will.
Luka don't play defense.
And that's who they're going to go at in the playoffs. They're going to go at Luka.
Yeah, they're going to go at him.
Well, all you got to do is score.
And
All you got to do
if
is score.
If you watch the game,
All you got to do is score.
he can score, but
Who gonna
he's a
stop
ball hog. He's a ball hog. If you watch,
He's been
Actually,
giving.
he's been
no,
sharing the
he's
ball a
not-
little
yeah, he's
bit.
been-
not really, not really.
You just don't like the trade that happened or whatever.
he
you know
likes
what I
the
mean?
trade.
No, I like the trade, but I'm just saying, but it's not working because
Why is
for
it not
one-
working?
for
Wrong
one,
answer, George. Well, we'll come to that. But
How-
wrong answer. Go ahead. No, well, let's get back on this.
Yeah.
Wrong
How
answer.
does he need to? How does he
Because
need
he
to go?
slows the offense down. They were a running gun team before Luka got there. Now you see when Luka has the ball in his hand, they stand around.
Well,
waiting for
James did say, Luka, this is your team. We'll adopt to you. You don't have to adopt to us.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't say that because to me, LeBron slowed the game down right now.
No,
He
no,
does.
So LeBron slowed the game down, man.
Both of them do.
LeBron ain't no running gun. Yes, he do. Yes, he do, man.
Before the trade,
Listen.
LeBron was balling.
Man, look, man, I've been watching LeBron for a long time. LeBron slows down teams' offense, man. I'm telling you, he does.
Reeves, even Dalton Connect.
Now, Reeves run the ball. Reeves run the ball.
Hachimura, all them guys was balling. you
Yeah.
know,
But
when
LeBron
Luka
slows
came,
the game
they
down, bro. I'm
slowed
telling you.
everything down.
I just tell you what, I know in the playoffs, defense wins and depth wins to me in playoffs. I know some
Yeah.
teams shorten their rotation.
Athleticism
I give
wins
props
too as
to the
well.
Lakers. They're number 4, but I still don't think they're going to go too much, farther in the playoffs. But I will admit that the West, there's a competitive battle going on,
It
and
is,
Golden
man.
State's involved in that competitive battle.
Right, and what I'm saying is, man, if you look at the teams, this is what I'm talking about. You talking?
Yeah, they are.
No. They six in the West, man.
No,
They're
they're
not
not
in the.
playing.
They're not.
Let me
No,
look
they
real
ain't in.
quick.
They 6 in the West. But they got teams. I mean, it's a couple teams that's just shy out of 5th and 4th and 6th place and 7th place, whatever. Only like
They're
2 or 3
6.
games.
You're right. They're up there.
Only 3 teams. Only 3 games determine if you're in second place or not.
And that's where they are. They're
Talking
one game
about, man.
ahead of the play-in game.
Yeah.
There's 3 teams competing. Actually, there's 4 teams if you want to count Memphis within that.
Yeah.
No, but
All it takes is them to lose.
want to win.
Drop
And,
back down.
and all it takes is a team
Yeah.
lose a couple more games up top. They'll drop down too. Is what I'm saying.
I think the only
It's
team
the
that's
same
really
thing, bro.
secure is Houston and
And
OKC.
that's the only teams that's safe right now.
It may be Denver, maybe secure.
Denver
with
might be
47.
safe.
Yeah, but Lakers on their tail with 45 wins. Denver got 47 for that 3rd spot.
I think Golden State got what 42.
They got 47.
47.
Oh, no.
No,
Golden State got 42.
42,
You're correct.
42,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So I'm just saying that they better hope. What I'm saying, man, with the playoffs is a different type. I've seen it relentlessly over and over again. I've seen teams that like that year that the Lakers was in the play-in and won the championship, man.
That was the bubble year, right?
The bubble year. So I'm just saying a record, whatever, don't mean nothing. It's how you perform in the playoffs. And the more people you got on your team with dynamic, not no 1 or 2 years experience. I'm talking about with dynamic playoff experience or whatever. Be the teams that you don't want there. I mean,
Will the Golden State Warriors get to the playoffs?
no, we'll be in the
That's the
play. Yeah,
question.
we'll be in the playoffs, and LA will be there too. LA be about
It's
18.
about 2 weeks left in the season.
We're gonna get to the playoffs or whatever. We seed too good. We 6 seed, man. Listen to what you're saying, though.
But you got to retain the 6th seed.
Yeah, you gotta retain.
Auburn 57.
All
Michigan
of them
State
gotta retain.
47. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left.
No, but listen, Bo. There's from 3rd.
57.
Auburn gonna win.
10 point. 5
Auburn
minutes
gonna win. I
left.
told you Auburn was
That'll
gonna win
mean
that.
yeah.
Auburn gonna win it all. But from 3rd seed down or whatever, from 3rd to 6th or whatever, only a few games inside them. So everybody has to keep winning.
Yeah.
Everybody, not only everybody has to keep winning. Because if LA started, everybody needs to keep winning. It was a must win. That was a must win for LA when they beat the Pacers the other night.
It was a must win when they didn't beat the Bulls twice. It was
That's
a
right.
must win when they lost to. They turned around and they lost to Utah they lost to Utah and they lost to the Charlotte Hornets back-to-back nights.
Yeah, that dropped the next because that makes us closer to them now or whatever. But where LA seed at and where Golden State seed, I think they can hold their fort down for another 6 games. And it's going to be problems in the West. Watch what I say. I said it, man. If Golden State and LA make it, either way, it's going to be a problem. Only 2 teams that can stop them from doing anything. That's probably maybe Denver and OKC. I don't think
it's gonna be a problem. I don't think you can count Houston out. I don't
You
think
can't count Houston out
I
either,
don't think you count Houston
but I don't
out.
think that OKC is going to be what you think they are at the very end, man. I'm telling you.
I think they
I
are.
watch them over and over again.
Especially Chet didn't play against the Pacers, especially if they get Chet back
If it was me-
and healthy, I think they're going to be okay.
If it was me, I have a recipe for that Shea Alexander
Shelly,
dude.
number one fan, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, Shelly? I think I do one or the other. If you're a good coach, if I was like LA coach, or if I was like Golden State's coach or whatever, first thing I do is we'll let him get his. We shut everybody else down, or vice versa, No, I'm referring to OKC. If I was playing them in a tournament, I wouldn't let the whole team beat me or whatever, because a team obviously depends solely. Yeah, but they not but they not aggressive like.
They got Jalen.
But
What's his name? Jalen something.
but they man that they bread and butter is Shea Alexander.
No, they got a lot of players.
They do, but
And their bench is deep.
I know. But what I'm saying is that he wouldn't beat me.
You would try to show them you would double team and get boss, but they got other people that can beat you.
It can be, but they're not gonna be as. I don't think they're gonna be as persistent as Shea Alexander.
Yeah, I think
Or
so.
whatever. Okay, well that's when we watch the game. We're gonna see.
Right.
Because
Because they
And-
only
and watch
lost
what I
12
tell you.
games.
It's
They only
a-
lost 12
Dort
games.
is
Watch.
the second best player on
I
that.
know, but what I'm saying is, you can slow. Okay, well let's slow Shea down or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because depending on who he checked or whatever, he got to play defense too.
And he's getting double doubles and
He
assists
got to
too.
play defense too. So
He's
I'll
get-
put a big. I make him check. I mean, this depends on who he's.
Right.
He check. If he checks Steph Curry, he's gonna foul out. So he's
I
gonna
don't
foul out. He's gonna foul out. Yeah.
But I agree with you. I will put a bigger defender on
I'm
him.
a bigger defender on him, whatever.
For one, they're not going to put Shea on.
That's what I'm saying. I said that. No, because
But they
know
got
he'll
plenty
foul
of
out.
people. They got plenty of people that can guard him though. And they can switch up on him.
Yeah, but you can only contain him. He like a Shea. You can't stop it. You can't stop. You can't stop. You just definitely.
We need to see
slow
how
down.
healthy he's going to be because he missed
Yeah,
a few games
yeah.
because he hurt.
And
he
then
hurt
see, that's what I'm saying.
tailbone.
We don't even know what's gonna happen because I mean, Shea plays a lot of minutes, man.
No, they
Yes,
got him.
he
They
do,
get him
man.
out the game. They get him out the game.
He play a lot
They
of
get him out the
minutes,
game.
boy.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, we're gonna
That's
see.
why at the end of games they all come out because they
What
say
happened
they're a
last
team.
year? What happened last year? What happened last year,
This is
guys?
a whole new year.
I know, but what happened last year? Though, be honest. What happened?
Roughly 8 games
What
left
happened?
in the season, okay? Roughly 8 games left in the season. At this time in the season, right before the playoff, they start lowering guys minutes, resting them a little bit. So by the time the playoffs come, they're fresh.
I want to ask you a question. What happened last year with OKC? I know this is a new year. What happened?
I can't recall.
They lost.
Yeah, they lost, but I mean,
You'll lose this year, too.
what
I'm
was
telling
the
you.
significance? I mean, what's the significance?
Well, I think they didn't have champion. I don't think they had playoff in-depth playoff. I mean, playoff experience is one thing, but having in-depth playoffs experience is what I'm talking
got
about.
it now.
Guys that know how to win.
They got it now.
I don't think they not with just 2 years, bro.
They got it.
Okay, well, we're gonna see.
They gonna be all
We're gonna
right.
see.
Got it.
They won't win the championship. I can tell you that right now.
I don't know who's gonna win because there's a lot of
They won't
contenders
win.
at the top.
Yeah, it definitely
But
won't be Golden State.
it won't be Golden State and Lakers.
I think they're
I
gonna be.
know that
I think
much.
they're gonna be
Or
the
the
two.
Pacers.
I think they're gonna be the two fighting. I think they're gonna be.
watch your mouth.
Hey, I think they're gonna be two.
I'm just keeping it real
I think they're
too.
gonna be.
Watch
I
your
said they're
mouth,
gonna be the
man.
two fighting.
Watch your mouth.
They're gonna be the two fighting for the West. They're gonna be the two fighting to come out the West.
But here's
Say
the
that I
thing.
said
I'ma
this, man.
explain why I
Right
said
now.
Pacers.
Well, I know the Pacers. You're not really
No.
in the top
No.
echelon with Boston, OKC, and them.
Pacers do not get a fair shake with his playoff time.
Okay.
They don't.
Let's go to your brother's question.
And then OKC
He
and
wants to know, should Carlisle be fired? No, he shouldn't be fired. He's managing those boys pretty good. He's not calling
I
off.
think Carlisle should step down.
No, you and your brother must be smoking a little meth or
I
something.
don't. I'm with. I'm with. No.
Yeah,
I'm with.
yeah,
Bo,
yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
look, I'm
Yeah.
with Bo Nose on that, man. I'm with Bo Nose.
No,
I don't think that
Carlisle,
he's.
no.
I think we need to switch up. Man.
He's
I do.
managing ego.
I'm not saying that. I'm with you.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach.
We
but I
went
think
to that
it's
old
time
style of play, man. You know,
Yes.
that old style. You got to run
He's
the
not.
gun.
He's not even calling plays anymore. He's letting them play their game.
But that's the problem,
He's
bro.
coaching them.
No, he's
No,
not.
the problem was when he used to call every play. The first time he was at the Pacers, he had his little card in his pocket, and he was calling every play. You know, I blame him back in the day for the malice in the palace because the Pacers was whooping that butt, and he still had the starters in trying to send a message because in the playoffs, Reggie Miller's shot got blocked by what's his name. So he was trying to send a message, which he shouldn't have been sending. So Carlisle this year is coaching a lot more free. If you notice, he's letting his coaches control the huddle a little bit more too. He's not calling every play.
Substitution pattern.
I think it's great.
I think it's
He's
terrible.
leaving who's in there.
To me, I don't think Carlisle's a good coach. To me.
Carlisle's a
I
good
didn't say
coach.
he wasn't a good coach.
I mean, he's not in the
day.
day. That's passed. Yeah, that's what
Man,
I'm
look,
saying.
Memphis fired their coach, and he's in the playoff hunt.
Right.
It ain't time. We don't need to do. That's the problem with everybody. They want a championship right now in college basketball, college football. They're firing coaches. You got to give people time to build a roster, to build a team,
Mike
to
Woodson
see
got,
it through.
got IU in the tournament 3 years out of 4, right?
Mike Woodson had 5 years too.
Yeah, but 3 out of 4 years he
Yeah.
got him in the tournament.
What, yep.
Why you firing him now?
He didn't fire. He resigned.
Well, he was on the bubble.
Quentin Buckner couldn't defend him anymore.
Right.
That's who was defending him.
Yeah.
Well,
I
get him
like
a
Mike
good.
Woodson.
Well, get him a real.
I like
because,
Mike Woodson. I like
because
some of the growths that were coaches.
when you're a good team,
Larry
you're doing-
Bird was not a coach. Rick Carlisle and Dick Hardo were the coaches. Magic Johnson was not a good coach. Sometimes when you're
hey,
great,
look,
you're not a good coach.
Magic Johnson, he's probably the worst coach I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life, man.
So just because you're a great
He only
player,
lasted 7 games.
don't mean you're going to be a great coach. That's my point to say. We got Tom Slick over here messing up and everything.
But when you got great caliber players on your team, like let me make this point real quick. But when you got great players on your team, man, that's caliber, man. I mean, I know it doesn't. I know it can happen or whatever, man. But I mean, how do you lose by 30-something points, man?
You're talking about the Pacer game when they?
Yeah, how do you lose by 30-something
Well,
points,
Washington
man?
is.
And I clearly seen
Washington is tanking. The Pacers should have saved some of them threes for OKC. They had 27 threes. There's a few teams that don't want to win right now because they want that number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
A lot of people want flags from Duke because what's going to happen is he's going to increase your attendance. He's going to make it so other players are going to want to come
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
So Washington really don't want to win. Those players, though, I'm surprised they didn't play hard. They got a guy from France that was the number 2 draft pick, SARS, that is a hell of a ball player. They took him out in the 4th, but he's a hell of a ball player. So I think Washington is hoping to do something like what OKC is. They traded away to the Lakers, and they got SGA, and they got all those draft picks, and that's how they're doing good, rebuilding. And I think Washington is trying to follow that same game plan. I think Detroit has followed that game plan. I wouldn't mind seeing the Pacers play Detroit in the first round because I just hate Detroit after the Malice in the Palace. I hate Ben Wallace. I hate them all. I only give Isaiah Thomas a little bit of
Is
a
there
pass
anybody you
value.
like?
I mean, there's a few people that I
No,
like.
I don't like. He's definitely the one I don't like.
Yeah, well,
So on that note, I think
like
it's time
I like the Chauncey
we
Billups,
get a little
man.
history lesson.
Okay,
Okay.
Bo
all right,
knows
let's do it.
this.
I think it's time
The
we
only
get a
thing
little
you know,
history
you don't know
lesson.
other sports.
All right. So everybody, we know Tiger
History.
Woods.
Facts.
We know Charlie Seifert. But have you ever heard of John Matthew Shippen Jr.? Okay, John Matthew Shippen Jr. was an American golfer who competed in several of the early U.S. Opens. Born in Washington, D.C., he was the son of a former slave and Presbyterian minister, John Shippen Sr., and Eliza Spotwood Shippen. Shinnecock Hills, one of America's earliest golf clubs. John Jr. worked as a caddy at the course and was taught to play by the club's Scottish professional, Willie Dunn Jr. Now, did you know at that time there weren't, Americans weren't into the golf game. The ones that were over here playing, they were Scottish or Irish.
Okay.
So that was the early part of golf.
Okay.
So the Shinnecock Hills course was chosen to host the second U.S. Open in 1896. Shippen played superb golf, finishing in 5th. When the professional entrants for the competition found out a racial controversy had begun, they threatened to boycott the event, but they backed down and offered USGA President Theodore Havemeyer stated that the tournament would proceed even if only Shippen and Dunn took part. Shippen played in 5 more U.S. Open, and his best finish was a tie for 5th in 1902. He made his career in golf and served as a professional at several clubs, the last of which was Shady Rest Golf and Country Club in New Jersey, where he worked from 1932 until 1964. As a professional, Shippen made and sold his own clubs, which bore a stamp reading J.M. Shippen. No other African American played in the Open until Ted Rose took part in 1948. In 2009, the PGA of America granted posthumous membership to Shippen, Rhodes, and Bill Spiller, who were denied the opportunity to become PGA members during their professional careers.
That's great.
The PGA also granted posthumous honorary membership to boxer Joe Louis.
Oh, wow.
When the U.S. Open was played in Shinnecock Hills in 1986, Shippen was remembered during the ABC television broadcast. For many members of the former Shady Rest Club, it was the first time they had learned of his accomplishments.
Wow.
That's John Matthew Shippen Jr.
Well, that was a great history fact. You
That
know,
was.
I mean, that's the only thing you do know. Your sports knowledge is very lacking, but I'm proud of your history lessons that you.
Don't
you
be
know,
a hater
taught
all
us.
your
So
life.
I'm just saying.
Don't
you
be
know,
a hater all
maybe
your
it's
life.
just your
okay?
teams that you cheer for that just be lacking.
Yeah.
You know, but
Well, I cheer for
bringing
good
in-
teams. I mean, who cheers
you're
for
a
Southern?
bandwagon
Who
team.
cheers for
Bandwagon.
Southern? Who cheers for the Dodgers? Who
Hey.
cheers for the Hoosiers?
Watch your mouth when you say championships. I
Who
mean, they
cheer for the
they
Hoosiers?
6-0. They swept Detroit Tigers. They swept the Cubs. You know, I got some
Who
stanky
cheer-
people.
who cheer
on
for the
my-
Hoosiers?
on
I like the
my
Dodgers
nerves,
hats, though. That's
Thank
about-
thank you, sir.
I like
I'm about to get one Brooklyn Dodgers. They got a B, and they got 42 on the side. You know what the 42
Yes,
represents?
we know what the 42
You know what the
That's
42
all boy.
represents? Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brooklyn Dodgers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm Dodgers fan, yeah.
That'd be a nice hat to put up on with all my other hats.
No, you probably
I might get
you
one.
probably got a
I
bunch
might
of
get one.
Lakers junkie jerseys.
No,
and
I
stuff
just
up
got a
there.
championship
So
hat.
yeah.
Championship
And
hat.
the championship they got in the bubble
Championship
don't
hat,
count.
North
You gotta put
Carolina
an asterisk
championship
by
hat.
that.
I got a few.
But they do obtain the most championships other than Boston, though.
You talking about the Yankees?
No, I'm talking about basketball now, whatever. You said Lakers
Yes.
with him.
No,
They-
Boston has the most.
Boston has the most.
Yeah,
by
but
one.
by one. They just got that. When they
Last
just got
year.
the last year.
Well, by one, it's behind them, so it's by one.
I mean,
I gotta
And I
take
hate
up for
Boston, and I hate
got
the
how
Lakers.
many-
I mean, but
NBA
you like
championships the
Kobe
Pacers
Bryant,
got?
don't you?
I don't have nothing against Kobe. Look,
How many
I don't have
NBA
nothing against Larry Bird.
championships? How many
We
NBA
have
championships?
three. We have three ABA.
No, I
We
said
can-
NBA.
We had three ABA.
I said
And
NBA.
the
Right,
ABA.
they have none.
That's
We
why.
have none.
That's why the
We
NBA
have none.
adopted a lot of ABA rules. They weren't even dunking in the NBA until the ABA. They didn't have a three-point shot in the NBA until the ABA. That's why all of them were wearing fur coats and minks and stuff in the ABA. Matter of fact, the ABA played the NBA in some All-Star games, and guess who won? The ABA. Now, I rest my. That's why they handicapped.
You still didn't answer my
That's
question.
why they handicapped
But
the
they're not-
Pacers
You still
and
didn't
Denver.
answer my
When they
question.
came into the NBA, they wouldn't let them have draft picks. Matter of fact, they were so scared of those teams, they tried to take players away from them. They were so scared of them
You
teams.
still didn't answer
they
my
wouldn't
question.
Let
You
Dr.
gonna answer
J
my question?
Stay with the Nets.
You gonna answer my question?
So
But
what?
they don't
How many-
recognize.
how many-
They
how
don't
many
recognize the
championships they
ABA
have
though, bro.
in the NBA?
Excuse me?
They don't recognize that in the world of sports or whatever.
They
brother.
recognize it in Major League Baseball. They
I'm talking
recognize
about
the
NBA.
records. They recognize
They're
those
better
records in
than
Major
sports.
League Baseball.
How many championships they got? How many championships? How
All
many
right.
championships do
It's
the,
been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure doing the show today. We had some technical difficulties with Smooth. He'll be back next week.
Yeah, old
hopefully.
Smooth had his he had
Yeah.
his prison clothes on. Did you see the orange
Yeah, I
pants he
saw
had
that. I
on?
saw that.
Man,
And
he had
I
his
was
prison clothes
I was
on.
on a
Okay.
guys golf trip last week, so I wasn't here, and I saw the show. I saw you guys did a great
a good
job.
job. Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
I won't be here next week.
Did you win anything? Because we was going to
I didn't win no money, man.
Oh, man. We said we was
Wasn't no
gonna-
need to see no video. I broke my driver, so Callaway sending me a
So
new
you did
driver.
horrible, man.
No, I didn't do horrible. I just didn't win no money.
Well, someone said it was going to give you a
What'd
hard
you do
time.
about a
Oh,
90?
my goodness. Tom,
What'd you do about a
how long
90?
time? Take us out of here, man. This guy's out of here.
You didn't answer
us
my
outta
question.
here.
You didn't answer my
Take us
question.
out of here, Tom.
Hold on. Explain this move.
Travel all day long.
It's acceptable.
They say it's a
That's
step,
what
but
I
it's a
said.
travel.
It's a travel, yeah.
It's a travel, yeah. Old school people gonna agree it's a travel. New schools ain't, just like you said, the carry.
They carry,
It's a
yeah.
It's
They
a
carry the
travel.
ball all the time.
Yeah.
man.
They say it's not discontinuing your dribble. Bull crap. Bull
They
crap.
call
And when you turn it over like that,
That's
there's a
carry.
pause
Yeah.
right there. So there's a
Man,
disconnect.
I could be in the NBA if they was letting me do
Right.
that back in high school. I could
Right.
be in the NBA.
No, you palm that ball in high school like that, they're going to call travel on you. Coach going to take you out the game.
Man, I went to the 1A and 2A game yesterday, and I mean, these boys are taking pages out of the NBA.
Everybody
players.
shooting threes.
Everybody shooting threes. You know, they doing the step back. You know, the travel.
Well, you know, it's
you
one
know,
guy about the place
the
in Golden
carry. They
State
doing all that.
who ruined the game or whatever. But he's
I don't
did a
think
good
Steph.
job.
I don't think he's really carrying all the time.
No,
like some
no,
of these
I'm
other
not talking about people wanting to take threes like Steph or whatever. They
Yeah.
can't hit them like Steph.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it depends.
there's always
That's my
one
guy.
person that changes the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, like Kareem changed the game.
Dr. J changed the game.
Dr. J.
Michael Jordan
You know,
changed it. He
Michael
revolutionized
Jordan.
the game.
No, Dr. J was the first.
No, actually,
Dr. J was
Connie
the
Hawkins.
Well, Connie Hawkins was bad.
Connie
Nah, I'm
Hawkins
talking
was
about a
before.
I'm talking about who. Nah, man, y'all.
Connie
Okay, I'm gonna give y'all that.
Connie Hawkins.
Jordan revolutionized the sport.
No, Connie Hawkins.
Jordan came.
Dr.
Jordan
J.
revolutionized
Dr.
the sport.
J.
No.
There's a YouTube video.
Okay,
I can
wait a
send
minute,
to you.
wait a minute. You
Dr. J has one ring, man.
It don't mean the revelation again. No, he has NBA rings too.
I love
By the time he got to the NBA, he was still a bad boy.
I mean, but he wasn't. I mean, no,
He was still a bad boy.
Michael Jordan, he wasn't, man. I'm just gonna
Michael
be real
Jordan,
with you.
you know who Michael Jordan's ionic free throw dunk took off the?
I know.
You know who did it
I know. Dr. J did it
J.
first.
Right.
I mean, but Jordan put pizzazz and style
You
and
know who
class
fly-
And Michael
and-
Jordan
you know what I'm
did.
saying? Now, Michael
You-
Jordan put class
you
to
know-
it.
I mean,
You know who
J did.
flies like Dr. J?
Huh?
You know who flies like Dr. J?
Michael Jordan.
Thank you.
But
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
flies
You see
amongst
your
the
wife.
friendly
You see your
skies,
wife
though.
saying? She confused a little bit too.
Yeah.
All y'all hitting that pipe together. You hit it with
Well,
his
yeah,
little
yeah.
brother.
Well,
LBJ changed
He
the
did a
game.
little
Y'all
something.
hitting.
He
The
changed
only
the game.
thing
He's a
LBJ
professional
changed.
flopper.
The only thing, yeah, for floppers. The only thing LBJ changed is.
I tell you what, shout out to Sub-Zero Ice Cream.
Yes.
47 South Illinois. Thank you for hosting us. Come on down, get you some ice cream, and take it away with
Hold on. The only thing LBJ changed was taking care of your body during all season.
Yeah.
You know, he
absolutely.
can, that's why he can
Yes.
play.
That's why he can play. Yeah, I'll give
You
you
know, he
my
wouldn't
word.
stay on the shoulder.
Yeah,
I
he's
like
very
how
adorable.
him and Steve going
A.
at it. But he was on the show with Pat McAfee. He said, I hear you spend like $1 million. He said, I don't know where that number from. I think it's higher than $1 million.
Right.
You know,
I heard it was 2.
Shout out to my wife's shop, Studio 62, Nails by Veronica.
Shout out. So, Tom, we already said shout out to Sub-Zero. We'll give a shout out to Sub-Zero. If we don't continue giving shouts out to Eric Washington,
shout out to
Sub-Zero,
the
we're in
producer.
trouble. Do we give a shout out to Tom Slick, the ghetto producer who puts us on? Producer! The super producer.
No,
yeah.
that's not right. He
We
does a
for the
good
hood.
job.
That's what we for.
He does a good job. He makes it happen
He
for us.
does a great job.
He does a great
In
job.
my hood.
He does a great job. I gotta give him props. You know,
Okay, I want to leave with this,
we've
man.
been
I know
on
you
these
got
shows
your,
a lot, so he's
you got your
great.
LA stuff on, though, but I want to say, go Irish.
They lost already.
They lost already.
But go Irish still, though. It's go Irish every time. No
I mean, I
matter
like
win
the
or
Irish, don't
lose.
get me wrong.
Go Irish if they lose
I
or
wanted
win.
them to win, but they lost.
Go Irish if you lose or win. That's a diehard sport.
I wanted
baby.
them to win.
Go Irish.
I ain't mad at you
because the
because I
women
like
coach-
Notre Dame
Yeah,
football.
I
woman
love
Notre Dame
yeah.
football.
Well, but the woman coach, Ivy.
I'm a
Lord,
diehard Notre
yeah,
Dame fan. We
boy.
will be losing.
Ivy
and
almost
go
made
one.
me become a stalker.
Go Irish, baby.
Hey.
Go Irish,
She
baby.
was a baller back in the day,
Yes,
though.
she was.
She was a baller.
Tom, we ready? We done filled in a number. You ready to take us out of here? Next week, I won't be here. These two and Slim will be here. I'm going to come back with a
Smooth.
tan from Jamaica, and I'm going to come back flexing. Holla at you.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Please welcome
Bo, Reggie, Smooth, Little James, Sports Spot.